morning, squad. Welcome back to MadMizzy Sports Morning Show, the #1 spot for everything sports talk, sports news, sports debate in the morning. We got a beautiful rundown today. Happy Monday. Hope y'all had a safe, beautiful, adventurous weekend. But the rundown is going to start going back to upset Saturday on championship weekend in college football. Who had the more devastating loss on upset Saturday? Then I'm going to touch on the college football layoff and what that format looks like so far. Then we're going to speak on, did my Niners lose their Super Bowl aspirations in a 33-17 win over the Miami Dolphins? Anthony Davis has 55-17 in a win over the Washington Wizards, 130-119. Are the Los Angeles Lakers back to being contenders? Then I got to break down Monday Night Football of the New Orleans Saints at the Tampa Bay Bucs. So let's go back to Saturday, Championship Saturday in college football. And we had some huge upset losses. And what was the most devastating loss? You had Utah winning over USC 47-24 in the Pac-12 championship game. And then you had TCU losing to Kansas State 31-28 in the Big 12 championship game. Which loss was more devastating and which loss was more surprising? To me, of course, the Utah over USC loss was way more devastating because it took USC right out of the college football playoffs. They were right there at number 4 team. They were going to get in if they got the Pac-10 the Pac-10 championship, but they didn't. They came out, they got punched in the mouth, losing by 23 points. That is just ridiculous. And then you have quite possibly the Heisman winner in Caleb Williams on your team at quarterback. So that was just surprising to me. 223 rushing yards given up on the ground on 35 carries, just got pounded on, just got out physical by Utah, and Utah is a very, very physical Pac-12 team. So yeah, to me, of course, you got to say USC losing to Utah was the more devastating loss since they lost their college football playoff spot. But let's touch in on college football. TCU didn't lose their college football playoff spot, losing by only 3 to Kansas State in their Big 12 championship game. To me, I'm looking at Michigan versus TCU in the Fiesta Bowl on New Year's Eve, 4 p.m., and we should dominate this game. We definitely should. TCU has been fighting all year long. I do not think that the Big 12 is anywhere near the conference that the Big 10 is, and we dominated the Big 10. TCU struggled throughout the Big 12, and they lost their conference championship game. We dominated our conference championship game. The explosion that we have. We won't have Blake Corum coming back, but Donovan Edwards by that time should have a fully healthy healthy hand. JJ McCarthy's game plan should be devised perfectly by that time. So I like our chances of getting to the national championship game and having a chance to win a title this year. Then you're looking at Ohio State versus Georgia, 8 p.m. Peach Bowl, Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. To me, I'm just looking, can Ohio State be more physical? Because you know what Georgia's going to do. They out-physicaled us last year in the college football playoffs. So what you think they're going to do to Ohio State? Ohio State better put on them big boy pads. Stop going out there trying to look all pretty with all those wide receivers and quarterbacks. Man, get out of here, bro. You better tackle. You better block. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what I'm looking for. But I think Georgia's going to dominate that game. I don't see Stetson Bennett coming out there and leading the Georgia Bulldogs to an L after they're trying to repeat this year. So I'm looking for a rematch of the college football playoffs last year and the national championship game this year of Michigan versus Georgia. And we should be very more well prepared than we were last year to face Georgia. Let's move on though. Did my San Francisco 49ers lose our Super Bowl chances in a 33-17 win over the Miami Dolphins? I say that because we lost Jimmy Garoppolo on the first drive to a season-ending foot injury. The terrible luck that we had, man. Both of those drives that we lost Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance, we were moving the ball, and it's just plays where both of those quarterbacks probably give up the play. You get what I'm saying? Get down. Don't try to fight. Don't try to do. Get down, bruh. Get down. Let the fight another down. You dig what I'm saying? Especially for Jimmy Garoppolo. You know you got your whole future ahead of you. You got to play well. You get what I'm saying? And then you know you have injury issues overall. So don't try to fight those two defensive linemen. Get down. But to me, I'm going to say, no, our Super Bowl chances are not over. Because I'm going to say this. A lot of people want to bring up the record, the win-loss record of Kyle Shanahan with Jimmy Garoppolo and then without Jimmy Garoppolo. Let's look at that. Kyle Shanahan came to my San Francisco 49ers in 2017. In 2017, we had the 25th ranked defense. We had Brian Hoyer and CJ Bedford as the the opposition to Jimmy Garoppolo. Of course he's going to come in. Of course he's going to win a job. And of course he's going to go on a winning streak at the end of the season when nobody expected nothing from us because we had one win on the season. He goes 5-0 down at the end of the stretch of the 2017 season. And it's, Jimmy Garoppolo is baby Tom Brady. He going to go on a string. Let's follow it up. Next year, 2018, we expecting everything from Jimmy Garoppolo. The first 3 games, he go 1-2 in those 3 starts. Gets hurt in the 3rd game. Rips his ACL up. Then you think about that. Our defense, we had the 28th ranked defense. Then you think about moving on. 2019, we go to the Super Bowl. Let's not forget, 2017, 2018, we were expecting Jerick McKinnon to be our featured back. He got hurt in both of those offseasons, so we didn't have no featured back. You think about, it was Nick Mullins and CJ Bedford that was the backup quarterbacks to Jimmy Garoppolo in 2018. Then the next year, 2019, where we grabbed Deebo Samuel in that draft. We get Nick Bosa in that draft, and our defense jumps up from the 28th ranked defense to the 8th ranked defense. Then we got Raheem Mostert that steps into that spot that we wanted Jerick McKinnon to have, and he has an explosion year. Yes, we're going to go off and we're going to go on a Super Bowl run because everything came together at one time and Jimmy G just didn't mess it up. We go 13-3. Let's look at 2020, the following year after the Super Bowl. 2020, he goes 3-3 with our 17th ranked defense because George Kittle gets hurt. Raheem Mostert gets hurt. Everybody gets hurt. The point that I'm trying to make is that if he has a perfect situation, we have a run game, we have a dominant defense, we have a top 10 scoring defense. Yes, he's going to go out there and win games, but he cannot make up for deficiencies. That's something he just doesn't do. You get what I'm saying? And our other quarterbacks that were coming in and playing for Kyle Shanahan didn't have those amenities that Jimmy G had, like a top 10 scoring defense. Trey Lance went 1-1 last year. You get what I'm saying? So we're not going to sit up here and downplay these backup quarterbacks or Kyle Shanahan's record with every other quarterback aside from Jimmy Garoppolo. Like every other quarterback had the access or the amenities that Jimmy Garoppolo had when they didn't. They didn't have the run game to lean on, and they didn't have the defense to lean on. They had to go out there and win games with their arm. You get what I'm saying? Which Jimmy G has proven he can't consistently do. So give these backups the same opportunity that you're giving Jimmy G and then say what you're saying about the win-loss record. But until then, don't give me that. So for me, I'm looking out of Brock Purdy. Yesterday, he goes 25, 37, 210 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. The 1 interception, he just threw a jump ball to Brandon Ayuk. I'm not upset about that, especially 4th down. It would have been better if the ball knocked it down. So it was actually a good interception. So to me, I'm not going to jump off of this San Francisco 49er bandwagon. Jimmy G is super experienced and Brock Purdy is a rookie, Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick in the 2022 draft. But that's the only thing to me that I'm concerned about is just the experience. I'm not concerned about skill set and him being able to read defenses and getting the ball into our playmakers' hands. What Jimmy G does is hand the ball to Deebo Samuel and throw a bunch of smokescreen routes to Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk, and Deebo Samuel, and do a lot of drag routes to George Kittle. That's all he does. Maybe some 7-yard posts to Brandon Ayuk. He doesn't do anything super special, and I think Brock Purdy can come in there and be a good replica of Jimmy Garoppolo, if you ask me. So I'm not jumping off my Niners bandwagon at all. Let's move on. Let's stay in California. Anthony Davis has 55-17 in a 130-119 win over the Washington Wizards in Washington. Are the Lakers back to being contenders? If Anthony Davis plays the way he's been playing, I'm going to say the past 8-9 games, yes, they are contenders because that's the number one thing that everybody that knows basketball kept saying. LeBron James can't be LeBron James of we've been to 9 straight finals. He can't be that same LeBron James. So if Anthony Davis can step in and be the best player on the floor, regardless of who they're playing, yes, they have a shot. You got Russell Westbrook coming off the bench, 15 assists last night. If Russell Westbrook can go out there and try to and focus on being the 6th man of the year this year for the Los Angeles Lakers, then you got Anthony Davis, LeBron James in the starting lineup, Austin Reeves hitting shots. Come on, man. Of course they got a chance. Of course they got a chance. Would I say they're the top contenders and favorite to win the Western Conference? No. But it's a far away from where they were last year and being in the play-in and being irrelevant. It's a far way away from where the Los Angeles Clippers are with their superstars and Kawhi not being on the floor and Paul George not being on the floor. This is a very, very optimistic sign for the Los Angeles Lakers that Anthony Davis is stepping into this full-fledged MVP role because that was the only shot that the Los Angeles Lakers had. That was the only shot that they had. They're getting everything that they needed to become a contending good team. Anthony Davis has to step into that MVP role. LeBron James going to be LeBron James and put Westbrook on the bench and he lead that second unit like a pack of wild dogs. They're getting all of that. I am very impressed by what I'm seeing from the Los Angeles Lakers. Sheesh. Let's move on though. Monday Night Football. We got the New Orleans Saints at the Tampa Bay Bucs. Who are we going in this game? I mean, I'm looking at it. Who's going to start for the New Orleans Saints? Are the New Orleans Saints going to finally go back to Jameis Winston? Or are they going to still run the Red Rocket and Andy Dalton out there? I mean, listen, man, I don't know what's going on with New Orleans. I don't see how you can go back to Andy Dalton and the Red Rocket after they scored 0 points against my San Francisco 49ers last week. So I'm thinking that Jameis Winston might reappear this week, but I really don't think it matters. The Bucs, they have to bounce back off of a game that they gave up last week to the Browns as they were up 7 points with, I think, 2 minutes left. So the Tampa Bay Bucs are going to come in highly motivated to get this dub. First time they'll probably sweep the New Orleans Saints since Tom Brady has come to Tampa Bay. So I think that the Tampa Bay Bucs are going to be highly motivated to come out there, get this win, get the run game going, establish it, and go for a very, very close win, because the New Orleans Saints just played them with Tom Brady very, very well. So I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Bucs, though, in this one, in a close game, 24-20 in Tampa Bay. So, yeah, let me know what y'all think. Upset Saturday. Who had the more devastating upset loss on Saturday? Was it USC losing to Utah 47-24? Was it TCU losing to Kansas State 21-38? I mean, that's a pretty clear-cut answer, I think, in that debate. Is it looking pretty evident that we're going to get a Michigan versus Georgia rematch from the 2021 college football from the 2022 college football playoffs in the national championship game of the 2023 college football playoffs? And did my Niners lose their Super Bowl chances in a 33-17 win, losing Jimmy Garoppolo for the rest of the season with a foot injury? Anthony Davis, 55-17. Are the Los Angeles Lakers back to being contenders in the Western Conference? And then Monday Night Football of the New Orleans Saints at the Tampa Bay Bucs. Who do y'all have in that game? Who should start for the New Orleans Saints at quarterback? And what's the key matchup? MadMizzy Sports. Like, comment, share, subscribe, listen, alert. MizzyWorld Entertainment. Gang.